Hi, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me tell you a little about my life these last few days. And let's start with Monday's video, which I admit was noisy with vehicles racing in the background, kids yelling in the street, and finally, Mr. Birdie joining the conversation. Now, we moved to town shortly before I left for Canada last year. So, on my return, I very quickly realized the effect on my life for making this particular decision. We live in a community where an estimated 75% of the people are dependent on old age pension or social grants of some sort. So we call it all paid days. We call it that because grants and pensions paid out on those days include everything from old age, disability, military pensions to child and unemployment grants. Well, on those days, you cannot get near a bank or a card machine. People start lining up well before dawn already. Shops are full. But unfortunately, as the day progresses, some people get drunk and fight, harass others, and so on. And the mess they leave behind is absolutely disgusting. So, on Monday, I started class at about 10 a.m. and we finished at about 2 p.m. I really wanted to record a video, but I could not use any of the front rooms because of the noise. Nor could I use my usual spot in the flatlet, which we incidentally also use as a classroom, for the very same reason. So I decided on using the dining room, which is in the center of the house. But that is a huge open space leading into the kitchen, so I am aware that it echoes a little. But here I am. I want to get a video up. You see, I'm rather stubborn. Anyway, I listened back and decided that it was really far too noisy. So I closed all the windows and doors and tried my bedroom. It actually went well, except that when I finished the recording and looked at it, it had only recorded 12% because my memory bank was full. Anyway, so I took the time and I deleted some stuff and I tried again. I actually did the entire thing again just to find that it only recorded 8% this time. I decided to go and have a drink of water and try again. But guess what? The power went off and stayed off for 4.5 hours, and both my phone and laptop ran out of battery life simultaneously. Unbelievable. Anyway, by the time the electricity came back on, it was past 8 at night, and I decided to try and take as much of the background noise out as I could and just apologize for the rest and do better the next day. Anyway, then came yesterday. The term papers went very well in the morning, and soon I was free to go to town, where I had to go and collect my renewed driver's license, among other things. Coming home, I found my daughter frantic, as there was a crisis at her workplace and she was asked to come in as soon as possible. Well, there went all my planning for the day, and I had to make food and do all the chores we normally share, which under normal circumstances would be just fine, except we have been having trouble for a few weeks now with a guy who is clearly mentally unstable and homeless. We have tried everything, talking nicely, trying to get him help, directing him to the church office, which is incidentally just across the road, the welfare office, which is also just up the road, the police, which is just 2 blocks away. But he keeps coming back, asking for food and a place to sleep and money and all kinds of things. He has a different conversation each time he rocks up. Now, before you think I am a nasty piece of work, we are 3 people in the home with only 3 beds in the home. And this is an adult male, a complete stranger, and very clearly, judging by things which he has now been telling us and saying to us over the last few days, he is clearly mentally unstable. I mean, he tells us all kinds of things. He's coming from this place, going to that place, but obviously our town is in a completely different direction. He doesn't know his date of birth, which the police tried to get out of him, etc., etc. So there is definitely something off, not right. Anyway, so a few days ago, he asked to sleep on our veranda, the front one, because we have one at the back and one in front. I said no, and again showed him to the welfare office. It is winter here, folks, and I have no desire to find a frozen body in front of my home. Anyway, so yesterday afternoon, he proceeded to call out and make a racket outside the house. And this time, I decided I won't give him anything. I'm not going to give him a slice of bread or anything. I'm going to be a little more forceful and stern. Maybe he'll get the message and leave. Well, guys, it went quiet after that, except for when, for some reason, my grandson decided to look out of his window and found that the guy had moved himself and all his worldly belongings onto our veranda. He had rolled himself into a blanket right up against my grandson's window and wall where he could not be seen. But other than that, he'd set up a whole kitchen for himself and was all too comfortable. It then cost us getting the police out to have him removed. But guess what? Just after dawn this morning, he was back knocking on our door. And he reckons it doesn't matter whether we were actually still in bed. No, no, no. He gets up at that time of the morning, so he is entitled to come knocking on our door that time of morning, according to him. Okay? And guess what? Again, he told us he was moving in on the veranda, and until he comes back, he's going to leave all his stuff there. Anyway, so this time I must admit I lost it a little and I raised my voice. Anyway, so he is still camping out on the corner of our yard, but luckily on the outside of the fence. So now we are out of options. Nobody seems interested in helping this mentally unstable man whom we don't know from Adam. So we will just keep harassing the police to come and remove him until they get tired of it and take him somewhere where he can get help. Anyway, guys, I don't know what else to say. Perhaps only that for those who complained about the quality of some of my latest videos, and in particular the one on Monday, I am not Joe Rogan or a Meghan Markle with top of the range equipment. I actually discovered last week that my third microphone stopped working. So I'm back to recording on my phone. I do not have a studio. I have a small computer desk and laptop. That is all. Added to that, I am a middle-aged, well, maybe a little past middle age, but never mind, grandmother and mother living in a small rural town in Africa. And I am keeping my mind active by making these videos and talking about my interests. There are many days which pass where you are my only adult company while my daughter is at work or elsewhere. That is why my channel and you are so important to me and why I do my best, despite certain challenges, to talk to you a few times per week despite Mr. Birdie sometimes loud protest. Now, poor Mr. Birdie, he also has to make his voice heard sometimes, and he does not like the Harkles either. Like me, he is an old man and can get grumpy sometimes. Now, okay, guys, I'll be back in a while with today's real video. So until then, please take care of yourselves. Bye.